Greetings and welcome. This is Ron from Tarot of the Twin Sun. I welcome you to the channel. If you're new, please like or subscribe or dislike if you will. I do appreciate your honesty and your continued support of the channel. Tarot of the Twin Sun is a functional division within the Order of the Twin Sun. I do welcome you, and please take only what you will for your guidance. Today I shall be composing for you a 9-card spread with clarifiers, potentially, and bridges that would show in the 9-card spread the Great Mirror. The Great Mirror is a tool devised in order to see a multi-layered approach towards different karmas that may exist between you and a significant other. Okay? This does not have to resonate for you, but if it does, please take only what you will, and note that my readings come from the light to shine into the darkness, that which we seek. Hopefully you find resonance. Today I shall be working with the Gran Etila deck. It's a 78 card deck, actually 77. This is the No Boundaries deck, and essentially this has a very strong energy that is used to channel the Great Mirror. It's 130 years old, and I do thank you for your continued support of the channel. I'm going to get started. The 10th house is now open. This is you. The energy of the significant other is following you. There's something about them that is behind in some sort of way. Fairly interesting. And this is the mirror between you two. Challenges here. The bridge. Okay. Within the mirror and within the action card here is the card of critique, the Eight of Swords. So there's a highly critical approach towards communication with you and the significant other. If there is no communication, it's primarily based on stratifications of the mind that are deeply rooted in cyclical thoughts, psychical thought, these providing an orb of relation that could be passed between two different people, two different parties. You and your significant other, also there's a self-reflexive quality, a strong need to approach oneself to understand the mind and its fixity. There's a strong fixed nature to this Eight of Swords, okay? So that is the Aquarian energy. What is being fostered here is potentially a higher mode of intelligence that is based on the past on the energy of Jupiter and Saturn, learning from this on your seventh house in the reverse dissension, okay? And two sevens are showing the seven of, excuse me, the seven of pentacles and the seven of cups. Okay, so there's a pensive sort of need to define what has been progressing here between you and a significant other. There are strong checkpoints that have to do with triple heartbreak or triple letdown. Also, a great deal of history here that feels a little bit bitter. Perhaps there is a mode of questioning different ways of trying to understand one's path, trying to understand how to discern what you're choosing, okay? Because of such, mostly this is experiential in nature. Um, there is something about this that talks about blockage, the inability to have emotional or perhaps creative flow between you and a significant other. Also, there is a possibility of pensiveness, of really trying to understand your authority in this, how to choose the right choice. Also, the addressing of something from the past. It's as if the way you're moving forward is held back by understanding new choices, new options, versus trying to understand the lesson of what has occurred. Because of such, there is a great amount of critique and revision when it comes to this connection, okay? Keep in mind, the significant other can be a person, place, or thing. It doesn't have to be just a human being. It could be something that that recurs in your life, or possibly a project, or a career path, some sort of path that has to do with significance. Okay. There is a sense of resuscitation here. Um, this person, place, or thing symbolizes a type of joy that you see, but something that you've outgrown in a way. Because of such, there's a feeling of ennui or boredom on your end, here with the Four of Cups versus the Three of Cups. What emerges out of this is a choice, grass being greener on the other side, a sense that fulfillment can be reached, but even then, you do not feel that you totally need the significant other in order to feel complete. There's something about you that is releasing and becoming dry in a way, and not needing to nurture this connection. At the same time, the way you are being perceived is that you have this extra cup, this extra way of nurturing the situation, of leading by example, but also leading by sort of letting go in a way, not really requiring or needing the significance of the other to constitute your stability, at least on an emotional platform, on an emotional level. Okay? What occurs out of this is a sense of isolation, yes, but also a sense of clarity within the isolation, but also an understanding of the motivations of emotional content that might be driving this connection, but you are not seeking it out for some reason. This is because the action here, and I'm not sure if Mars is still in Taurus, but if it is, there's something about that energy that is letting loose. It's like a type of emperor that does not want to be an emperor, a leader that does not want to be a leader, the leader being you mostly, but then also you feeling like there still is an element of joy that can sort of be resuscitated out of this, given a second life in some sort of fashion. On a deeper level, this this situation constitutes a great deal of enterprise. Okay, we have two threes plus the ace of rods here. Okay, um, there's a breath of life here. with your significant other. There's a feeling that you can provide them with a new beginning. At the same time, you want to desire them in a certain way. There's something about you that is deeply trying to awaken a secret form of dormant knowledge that wants to understand in truth how to sort of critically acclaim this in an Aquarian way, in a very detached kind of way. Okay, that's what I'm seeing. But still, this person resembles an element of enterprise. Okay, and there's something about you that is tied to the karma of letting go. Okay, with the Five of Swords in reverse, letting go and returning in some sort of fashion to understand a bit more about the truths, King of Swords, that come out of it. But the truth that you seek, the clarity of mind, is perhaps something that has not yet come to be in terms of, especially if this is a romantic reading, there's something about it that is very, very, very severely detached in a way, and it's really important to you to understand that the timeless element, the subconscious, deep, deep unconscious element of it, is entwined in this need to depart and then to understand what is lost after being leaving that aside. Okay, now there still is the element of enterprise within this connection, and this person resembles in a way a platform that you can leave but then jump off from to go off into new and distant things. At the same time, the challenge between both of you is based on emotional intelligence with the two kings, the Homme Blonde and the Homme de Robe, which is the King of Swords and the King of Cups here. As well, the Ace of Cups showing up, two aces here. Very strong connection based on passion as well as emotional catharsis, emotional understanding, love, creativity here strong. Um, Plus the fourth house of water, which is Cancer, strongly here. But because dissension is showing up here with the the Chariot card in the reverse, there is a strong difficulty to sort of become totally clear with the different modes of earth and water that are trying to equalize themselves without being too muddy. In a certain respect, it's important for you to find the sense of footing to not be chaotically organized, which mostly has occurred in a certain way here. It should be clear that there is a divide, that there is a sense of isolation, that perhaps both of you are feeling this sense of isolation within the context of the world, within the context of that which you can be committed to, that which you can actively find in realities out there. Yet, there is a spiritual undertone here that connects you to in this sort of chaos. Okay, it's a type of chaos uh, that should be based on order. But because of such, there is a need, there's a challenge that perhaps tickles your fancy when it comes to this. Okay, to revisit that which has been difficult, to find a sense of clarity, but then there is a restless element of the mind here that is the challenge and the stepping stone here. Also, a block on an emotional sort of love basis or creative basis on their end, that they have to find wisdom and to understand and provide you with some sort of offering, okay? Emotional offering. They seek truth, they seek also a way out of the mystery that you may shroud yourself in. One of silence, yes, one of contemplation, deep contemplation, as well as self critique and critique upon the other, okay? Um, mm, What I'm seeing here is an element of naissance that is trying to be willed into power here, willed into being. Difficulty, really, considering that they expect a great deal from you, for them to give, for you to give them, your significant other, a great deal of energy in terms of water and fire. But what you are most sort of serious about is the contemplation and standing by your truth. Perhaps your truth should supersede any elements of love or elements of passion that should be provided on the table. So there's something about this that it feels like you're cooking up something that you want to give to them something, but there's difficulty in doing so because of practicalities that are tied to your truth or the way of saying things, the way of doing things in terms of um, the Aquarian way, in terms of the ability to find stability in the highest form of intelligence, but then also not sort of giving too much in terms of your resources. Okay. However, the one of the major arcanas that show up, the two of them here, we have the moon in reverse. That's the moon card in the reverse as well. The beautiful illustration. Um, the energy of Sagittarius coming in with temperance in the reverse. Okay, so there's almost a preternatural or an ability to find a sense of grounding by letting loose some of these emotions that you've been flooded with in a certain way. I see an emotional flooding, and you find it to be unnecessary, and perhaps you feel it bored or perhaps chaotic at times. What this is showing you, or what this is showing me at least, I'm not sure if you're resonating with this, is a sense that there's a gateway. This gateway being laced with an element of loyalty, um, secret loyalty, as well as an ability to find in the energy of the full moon, especially which is occurred right now, some sort of breakthrough with what is trying to be said. And perhaps you're trying to bring this out after understanding some of the more restful elements that have to do with emotional understanding, or perhaps understanding things from an objective perspective, something that is deeply sort of suspended and you can understand it from a distance without having to imbibe in anything toxic or anything that is trying to set you into a cycle. Excuse me. There also is on this a needing for healing, um, but the sort of difficulty to find the patience within. There's a great deal of impatience in this connection. This person, though, um, there's something very light about them, and perhaps innocent in a way. It's not to say that you're not innocent. There's something about this connection that feels innocent, okay? But there's a quest for truth here that has to do with your own truth, standing by that, and also the truth of reflexivity, the truth of reciprocity, the truth of air, which is detachments and intellectual sort of observation, intellectual rapport, okay? And this is very important for the development of especially the energy of Sagittarius, Jupiter here strong, trying to portray itself in some sort of way. Two teachers, Jupiter as well as Saturn, strongly in this reading. One having to do with limitation, the other having to do with the expression of things, and then the moon helping to understand some of the more deeper, the deeper truths that envelop the emotional body, or something very deeply in need of reparation. Okay, that is what I'm seeing. I don't think this reading needs any more. If you would like, your own personal extension upon this energy, I am available for private readings. Otherwise, I do wish you well. This has been the Great Mirror reading, and I do thank you for your likes and your honesty if you dislike. Also, yeah, that is Cardinal Earth. The 10th house is now closed. I do appreciate the externalization of things that had to be said. Please take only what you will, and I do wish you very well. Bye bye.